Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be making my smoked beef ribs. So the first thing we're going to actually need is our ribs. Now, these are short ribs, so this is what they had in the store, so this is what I'm going to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean our ribs thoroughly. I rub each individual rib in the water with distilled vinegar. So this is something that you initially want to do, and that cleans your ribs. I'm also going to let it soak for just a moment while I get my seasonings together. Alright, so let's start off with these seasonings. Slap your mama. You guys know this is that Cajun seasoning that I really love. So if you haven't already, you have to try this seasoning. I'm not sponsored by them, but it is really good. The next seasoning that I'm going to come in with is just some onion powder. Definitely got to spice it up with a little bit of onion powder. I know this is going to be so good. I'm talking about some kind of deliciousness. The next seasoning that we're going to be using, or liquid, is liquid smoke. You guys heard me talk about this in my previous video, but trust me when I say this, if you haven't already tried, you need to try liquid smoke. It takes everything to the next level. And also the liquid smoke is going to help the seasoning stick a lot better. I'm going to go in with a little bit of paprika. Now, paprika really doesn't add an essential taste, but it does give it a great color. And it adds just a hint of spice, but not as much. And now I'm going to go in with Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. This definitely is one of those seasonings that is a must-have. It's salt-free. Again, I'm not sponsored by them, but it is salt-free and you can be generous with it. And who wouldn't want to be generous with herbs and garlic? This seasoning is delicious. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of cayenne pepper, and this definitely turns up the heat a little bit, but not too much, but just good enough. And again, all these seasonings are optional. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of brown sugar. Every barbecue rib needs a hint of brown sugar. Once all the seasonings are added, you're just going to pat in the ingredients. Just pat them in. This allows the seasonings to be compacted on the meat, and when it cooks throughout the meat, which it's gonna be so good. So once one side is done, you're gonna flip this over and you're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just repeating the seasonings that I already previously used. So initially there was one seasoning that I was missing, and that is a must, is garlic powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this on both sides, but for right now I'm just gonna sprinkle it on this side. And once all of the seasonings are on the meat, just repeat the same process. Go ahead and pat down the seasonings. Alright, so once all the seasonings have been patted down, we're going to transfer it to a nice large bowl so these can marinate for a good hour, or if you're in a hurry, 30 minutes. And once they have marinated for about 30 minutes to an hour, hey, you can even do this the previous night and have them marinate all night or overnight in the fridge. So I'm just going to cover this with a seal and go, just so when I refrigerate this, nothing gets on it and all of those seasonings can be incorporated and just marinate right in the meat. And when it's done, I'm going to bring out my rack, which you see here, which is my smoker's rack. And I'm going to start adding the meat one by one, of course, because it has set in the fridge for some time now. And you guys know the process. I'm just going to add it. That's right. And you guys are going to see the next step in just a second. Now, once I've added all my meat, of course you guys have definitely seen my smoker. So I put this in the smoker for approximately about an hour. And until an hour, I like to add apple juice. That's right. I like to spray my smoked ribs down with apple juice. As you can see here, they are still going to be cooking at approximately about 250 degrees for a total of 3 hours because I want these ribs to be falling off the bone. And as you can see there, oh my God, so delicious, so yummy, so moist. One of the things that I like to do right after I take it out of the smoker is go ahead and drizzle a little bit of honey on top of all of these delicious ribs. This just brings that sweet, that honey, it just brings that sweetness to the barbecue ribs. So next, I'm actually going to be drizzling on just any barbecue sauce that you would like to use. And I like to actually mix 2 barbecue sauces, so that was the first one. You will see the initial second one, which I'm doing right now. What can I say? I like a little kick. So one is actually just mild sauce, and the other one is a little hot. And from here, I'm just gonna cover each one of these ribs with barbecue sauce. And as you can see right there, that's the end of the product. So good, you guys. I'm talking about these ribs. The meat literally is so tender and it's falling off the bone. But on that note, stay strong, stay healthy, stay in the spirit. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And for that, I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the mukbang. So you guys will see me taste this. All right, I'm out.